You meet certain people and how do you explain it? I do this sometimes with my students to try to get them to read a film, to think about what is it about the hair, what is it about the face? Is it a smell, is it a smile, is it the sound of the voice?
22 years ago, I went to give a lecture at the University of Oregon.
I went down after the lecture to ask him a question.
I suggested we take a walk to discuss this question.
I was immediately smitten.
I think I fell in love at that moment. But he was involved with someone in Missouri. I went back to Chicago and really had virtually no contact. When he called me 2 years later out of the blue, it was just like lightning struck. And I learned that his partner in Missouri had developed a brain tumor. So Ron had left his dissertation and moved back to Missouri and nursed this guy through the last 9 months of his life. Talk about being faithful to your partner. I mean, the fact that he did that says something so profound to me about Ron's decency and what he's like as a man.
After Tom's death, I felt completely isolated in Springfield, Missouri. I was taking the laundry down to the basement, and halfway through getting there, I started sobbing. It almost was like animal-like in its deepness. It was at that moment that I said to myself, call George. And the minute I saw George, it was immediate. I realized I was in love.
Within a few weeks, he'd moved in with me in Chicago, and that was 20 years ago. Getting married was never a burning aspiration of mine. I'm really not sure how much of it is because I'm a gay person of a certain generation, so when I was coming out, it just simply was not an imaginative possibility. A completely unexpected part of my career is that over the course of the last decade, I've been an expert witness in more than a dozen cases challenging the ban on same-sex couples getting married. I testify primarily about the history of anti-gay discrimination. Probably most significantly, the Supreme Court case that overturned the Defense of Marriage Act, and also the case in which the Supreme Court ruled against Prop 8. There were definitely times when either the lawyers I worked with or other people who knew I was involved in these marriage cases wondered why I wasn't married myself. But my testimony wasn't about my personal feelings about marriage.
When marriage was legalized in Connecticut, it was still only a few states where it was imaginable. And it's as if you're doing it for a political reason at that point. I didn't want to get married under those circumstances. But I think after the Supreme Court decision, I evolved along with Obama.
I have learned through my involvement in all these cases that there is something about marriage being a moment to recommit yourselves and stepping in, opening a new door, a new stage in the relationship.
It brings you into a level of consciousness that even though we've lived together for 20 years, we've never had that moment that really brought you into defining and professing a love in the way that poetry and vows do, and that's been pretty profound.